fans and friends everywhere. This is the Fourshade Studio Podcast.
Episode 28.
Wow, what a year it's been already. I'm Devon.
I'm Blake.
I'm still Brock.
We're still here.
And this is Some Mustard.
New year, no new names. We're all back.
Well, technically I have a different name, but
We've
Sure.
heard about this.
we don't talk about it.
Sure.
Anyway.
Let's bring up something we don't talk about.
Okay, sounds great. It's what I'm good at. So with the new year has come new Pokemon news. Is that what we're
Wait.
talking about today? Is that all we're doing today?
I thought this was the PlayStation 5 episode.
You're
Yeah.
so
No.
right.
I
What
thought
was
this
I thinking?
Xbox Tower mode.
So stupid.
I thought
So
this was
right.
the Alienware tablet.
I'm sorry, guys. I just ruined the whole show.
Have you seen that Alienware? It's basically Switch.
No.
No. Alienware's dead to me.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Pokemon news in the form of a Pokemon Direct that came out today, January 9th, 2020, at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
And
Actually, that was Pacific Time.
yeah.
Time.
Is it 9:30 Eastern time?
Yeah.
Why is this important? This isn't important.
It is
What's
important.
the news?
None of this is important. It's Pokemon.
It's true.
So where do we begin?
Well, it all starts on the Isle of Armor.
Wait,
But
spoiler.
anyway, I don't know. There's a Pokemon Direct today. It was 20 minutes long. The first thing they announced was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon remake.
Yep, for the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, that was on Game Boy Advance. I never played that one. I played the other two. I played the one for DS and 3DS. They were okay games.
I never played them, but my sister did, and she really liked them. But I don't always agree with my sister's taste, so I don't know. Brock, did you play them?
I know nothing about them, so.
Okay.
So it's like, on most all of them, you do like a test at the beginning. And it's like a personality test, basically. And that decides what
If you're
your...
an INFJ or an ENTP.
No. It just decides your Pokemon that you are. So,
No,
I think like in the first games, you could be like Gen 1 Pokemon only. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. I didn't play it again. But I know in like the second one, you could be like a lot of generations. I think through fourth or fifth generation. So it was cool.
I mean, based on the trailer today, it's Gen 1 and 2, right? That's all I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably is. But
But I saw Lucario, though.
I don't know.
Isn't he Gen 2?
No, Lucario's Gen 4.
What?
Yeah,
Is he
not
really?
Gen 2 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, you're Pokemon, and you usually join like a band of Pokemon, not like a band, like a music band, but
Play
like
instruments. It's
like
really fun.
like a club of them, and you just set off and do adventures. And the adventures take place in things called mystery dungeons, which are like procedurally generated dungeons that are always random. So that's kind of the gimmick. All the levels are always different. So even if you want to just go out and grind, you're going to get a different layout of the dungeon each time, even though they're pretty similar.
It's like Diablo. You're just mindlessly going through it anyway. Yeah.
Like they don't really have, the floors don't really have different things about them. They're just like, some rooms have more tiles, other rooms have less tiles, some have traps and random items. It's just like, okay, whatever. So it's random-ish rooms.
Sure.
So yeah,
It went from pixel art to Winnie the Pooh looking
Yeah.
stuff.
it looks very much like Winnie the Pooh.
But did they reuse the 3D models?
I don't know about that actually.
Probably.
Honestly, they probably
Eve,
did.
Little Faith.
I mean, it's on the Switch,
I don't know
so
why they wouldn't.
might as well.
Yeah. But it looks like Winnie the Pooh. I don't really care for it. Blake likes it.
I think the art style looks good.
So did I. I liked it.
Always gotta have one hater, I guess.
You know, we gotta make sure all opinions are represented.
Yeah, all
on
bases
the
are
show.
captured here.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Um,
that was a quick announcement at the very beginning.
No one was expecting, from what I could tell, too.
I kept seeing like things on Twitter of like memes, and it was like, "Will we see Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?" It was like a joke thing. It was like no one
Yeah.
expected it.
At this point, I'm pretty convinced that they're going to like remake every game that ever sold one copy for them
Probably.
on the Switch, so that they have like their basis, and then they can start pumping out like we know how to do this. Now we can pump out one game a year.
Well, now that they've like actually remade this one, it kind of gives me hope. I loved Pokemon Pinball on the Game Boy, so I'm like,
That was literally my next thought.
I would love for them to remake that. I would love for them to remake Pokemon Snap.
I want a Hey You Pikachu. remake.
Pokemon Troze?
Yeah, Pokemon Conquest or whatever it was.
I just want a Hey You Pikachu with a microphone that actually works.
Ooh, that would be good actually.
I know.
It could
do
be
with
a-
multiple Pokemon.
It could be like it could be like a Switch peripheral.
Yeah,
You could plug into the bottom of the Switch
I love that game.
into the USB-C port.
Invite
Little
Pikachu
microphone.
into my room.
You could.
Hang out with it.
Invite Pikachu into my room.
Have a slumber party.
Hang out with them. You know.
You know, be buds.
What else would you do?
Yeah. I probably won't play this game though.
I definitely won't play this game.
I don't know. It's a hard maybe for me.
Which probably means no.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it exists, I guess, because people are happy. So,
Yes. So that was a quick little one-off announcement. I feel like at the beginning, very out of left field, but still good. And to the big news.
Sword and Shield's getting some DLC.
Yes, Sword and Shield expansion
And
pass
pretty soon
was
too.
released. Yeah.
It's like coming out relatively soon. I was kind of surprised. Like the first
Yeah.
one, there's two,
It's two-parter.
and the first one's coming out at the end of June,
Yep.
and then the next one is going to come out sometime in fall.
Yeah, so June 2020 was the first part, and said autumn 2020 was the second.
sure.
So fairly, I mean, it's good timing, I guess. It's kind of like every 6 months after release is something. Keep the player base there.
Right.
Were you surprised by this at all?
Not really once I start to think about it, because
Yeah.
it seems like they got to keep pumping out Pokemon game. Like, there's going to be a new gen. What are we on? A next gen Pokemon game. Then, not this year, but next year.
Right.
But it makes sense not to have to do one every single year, and to at least expand on what they've got a little bit more, which is a lot more possible with a home console like the Switch. Whereas on the DS, it just doesn't make sense.
So
And-
were you surprised? Are you saying you weren't surprised at all that they went like the expansion pass route rather than like
An Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon.
yeah,
Right.
like a third edition basically to this gen?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And I think it's probably better for everyone that way anyway. Like,
That's kind of what I thought. Like, I feel like being able to carry over your save file to basically continue the story or do whatever is cool because when you have a third game in a generation, you basically just start fresh. And like really not a ton is added anyway. It's usually basically the same as the original two games with like a slightly altered story or like something very small that doesn't like really warrant buying like another. I guess it was like a DS game, like $40 game. This would be maybe like a $60 game.
That and the 20 hours it takes to beat Pokemon, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I thought, like you said, when they started kind of explaining it, it did make a lot of sense. I still feel like people hate the word DLC though, so I feel
I
like
hate the word DLC.
But it's like, would you rather have like I don't know how much this costs. Did you happen to look that up at all?
It's $30 per pass, and when they originally announced it, I thought that meant like 30 for the Armor Island and 30 for the Tundra thing. But I think it actually means just like 30 for swords, so both
Sword
in sword.
expansion pass and then shield expansion pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's 30 for both the Tundra and the island, I'm more okay with that.
I see. I would like that better because, like I said, like in previous generations, it'd be buying a whole new game for full value. So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like people hate the word DLC, but at the same time, it's like you're actually getting a better deal for what you would probably be getting in the older generations. But we'll see.
But
Who knows? It's not out
also,
yet, so it's hard to say.
yeah, I'm definitely not going to like pre-order this. I'm going to wait until people say what's actually in it and then choose to share. Like the big thing I'm hoping for is that it's not just two kind of tiny stories to do on these islands, but there's enough just post-game stuff like battles to just continuously do.
Right.
That they made these with the idea that this is the last of Pokemon Sword and Shield. We need to keep people entertained all the way until the next game. Because right now, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, after you beat it now, there is a little bit to do. There's a little bit post-game where you go back and do some battles, get the legendary, the box legendary, and then after that, it's really just like, you can do the battle tower and stuff. Catch all the Pokemon if you haven't already. But then, yeah, after that, it's like, I feel like they kind of, like, entice you to keep doing raids since they're gonna be continually updating the raid battles with new Pokemon, but those just aren't enough.
Those aren't Pokemon battles. I mean, that's
true. Yeah. It's a completely different type of gameplay. But yeah, do you guys want to get into what the expansion passes actually entail?
No, let's just call it quits.
All right, let's call it. Good episode. Bring it in. Who brought snacks this time? Who brought the goldfish? Who brought the juice boxes?
Ooh, juice boxes sound good right now.
Juice boxes always sound good.
They do.
Capri Sun.
Juice pouch.
Juice pouch.
Okay, so expansion stuff. I guess we can start with.
So part 1.
Island of Armor.
Island of Armor.
There were some really cute outfits, though.
That's so true. I'm so excited about okay, so one of the new features, well, not a new feature, but one of the features of this expansion pack is more clothes, more hairstyles.
Yep.
And I like customization. I love it. You can customize your bike.
Yeah.
You can customize your bike clothing.
Backpacks.
Backpack.
It's great. I love it. More clothes, better for me.
Though I have to say, they threw out they showed so many new clothes. It was kind of like, wait, so is this what they've been working on?
This is a clothing pack. It's like The Sims.
Yeah. I'd be down for it.
This is a $5 clothing pack. It was like I was worried it was gonna be like a Smash Brothers like costume pack situation.
They have like Marnie's hairstyle in there, which frankly I don't think it looks good on.
People are gonna choose it though.
I mean, they're gonna choose it.
I feel like Marnie's a fan favorite.
I know.
But you can't be
Honestly,
that emo.
I mean,
Well, now you can.
I'm down for being emo, but I probably would not pick her hairstyle because I don't like how it looks with the face of the character that you get. But anyway, there's new clothes. There's more Pokemon
Yeah.
coming in, and I saw Lycanroc in there. And I'm so excited because now I can replace one of the dogs on my dog team with a rock type dog.
Yeah. So it showed like a bunch. It showed like all the Kanto starters.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
like, we know Bulbasaur's in there now. We know Squirtle's in there now, and then it ended up showing actually their
Gigantamax.
Gigantamax forms like Gigantamax Venusaur, Gigantamax Blastoise.
Mhm.
So those were cool. Blastoise has like a million guns on it. Venusaur has like this huge flower that's like kind of drooping over it. It's so big now. And then like the part that was in the middle of the flower is like really tall.
Blastoise has a lot of guns, per usual.
Just said that. Yep.
Oh, whoops.
But those guns, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Guns
Blastoise
really
takes.
stick
Guns
out.
on guns.
Blastoise loves the Second Amendment.
That's so true.
And then there was Blastoise. He had a bunch of guns, per usual.
And
But were
Venusaur
they
had
like-
a big droopy flower.
Yeah, and then Blastoise had a lot of guns.
Pew pew.
I'm having a stroke right now.
Okay, so let's start arguing about this.
Okay, what?
Are there 200? Are there 200 more Pokemon in the expansion because they had a couple more months to work on it? And
That's
they-
what I was wondering.
hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
Okay, what I was noticing too is, kind of jumping the gun a little bit. When they showed a bunch of like the new legendaries and things that are going to be on these islands, they never showed gameplay footage of them. And they never
They
showed
just flew.
gameplay footage of like any of the features they were showing. It was like,
Yep.
on this island, there's all these cozy houses and stuff, and it was just like concept art. I was like, okay, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, they didn't show anything until he said, "Oh, and you know the island's going to be like the wild area." Camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This sucks. This is dumb. I'm not buying this."
Yeah.
Actually, it's like the wild area. Okay, I'm interested now.
And they actually said in that part too that they're bigger and they have more to do than the wild area.
Which is what I'd hope like the next full Pokemon game would
Yeah,
be or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
So
So yeah, I feel like in that aspect at least, the entire expansion being free camera, bigger than the wild area, will be worth it in itself.
right.
Because I mean, like, if you think about it, like, let's say both parts of this pass have like equal amount to do, roughly. I can pay $15 for an area that's larger than the wild area, free camera, a little bit more to do. I don't know. I can start to see the value in it, I guess.
Yeah, the hopefully the
And a lot more
Pokemon
Pokemon.
aren't the value of it, right?
Yeah.
The new stuff they're adding is actually new, and that's what's cool about it. I really do think this is kind of an excuse for them to get the Pokemon in the game. I 100%
I do too.
believe
Yeah,
they kind of held them back or they didn't have them done or whatever. But
yeah.
I also don't think that it was like this was what the DLC was for all along, to get these Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they took the backlash of like the national index not being a thing, and were like, we have to address this somehow.
Ooh, that would be interesting if that was like after the backlash.
That's
Where
that's
they weren't
it's
originally.
like so hard to know because like we're never gonna know the actual story, but I would be super interested if there was any way to actually hear that, like 20 years from now, like have some story release where like
Yeah.
Where
The,
someone sits down and does an interview way after they're retired.
Um,
I don't know. But go ahead.
I was just gonna move on to the next part of the like.
Yes, there's a lot of new Pokemon, and then what else we got?
It is like dojo themed or
Yeah.
something. There's like a dojo that you go to.
They said the theme of this
Is
first part is
growth.
growth.
So you go to this dojo and train with Mustard, this old man with very long eyebrows that
That's the character's name, Mustard.
ironically really doesn't wear much yellow, and apparently was Leon's mentor. And depending on
I
what
missed that part.
yeah, and depending on what game you have, you either train with Clara, who is a poison type user, and she is for sword.
Ooh.
She's like a rival.
Yes, or Avery, who is a psychic type trainer, who is way less cool than Clara, in my opinion.
What?
I thought you were
What?
saying the other way when we watched it.
No, I like Clara way better.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was thinking Shield got the best end of everything.
Oh,
We've got the
no.
Ghost Gym, and the Psychic guy. Like,
I like the
Heck.
psychic guy more.
Mm.
Just
he's got his like rainbow
appearance.
hat.
Yeah, he's like Rainbow Hat is like Pokeballs that are like floating around him.
I just think he looks kind of weird.
All
Personally.
right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I have to play devil's advocate this episode. But you got cute little like geese,
Yeah.
little karate outfits. You get new hairstyles, and apparently you train. And at the end of your training, you get like this new. You just obtain the new legendary for this expansion.
Yeah.
Called Cub Fu.
I can't remember what it was called.
It was
It
called
did look like a teddy bear that was like kung fu.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It was Kung Fu. It's this little gray bear who's like fighting type that evolves into one or two forms.
Not my legendary. I refuse to recognize him.
Hashtag not my legendary.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like its first form is like just.
It looks pretty stupid.
It could just be like a Pokemon you find on
It
Route
looks-
1.
It looks like Beware to me.
That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah.
And
But
then
basically, this is just glorified Pangoro. It evolves into single strike form,
yep,
which is fighting dark.
yep,
And I don't Ursa Fu,
something.
Urshifu, I think.
I don't remember.
And a rapid strike form,
Which
which
was
is
water
fighting water.
Fighting water.
which is a weird type.
Yeah.
And they both get Gigantamax forms.
I didn't understand if you could switch back and forth between the forms or how that
I
worked.
don't know. I think it evolves into one or the other.
That's what I gathered.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like a Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee from like what, Tyrogue?
Except
Yep.
weirder, yeah.
Because I was thinking that, but then I was also thinking like maybe it's like how they did. What's that one Pikachu like one that gets hungry?
Oh,
More.
Pico.
Yeah, like you know, how every other turn it has
Mhm.
a different form.
I don't think this does that.
I don't know. Or maybe it holds. Maybe you have to make it hold an item or something that you decide.
I think it said in the announcement it evolves into
Oh.
one or the other.
Well, we'll see. Either way, that one gets a Gigantamax form,
Yeah.
but
And
it showed like weird concept art again. Like it didn't show it actually in game. I don't know. I don't know if this is like purposeful or not.
well, it kept saying at the top like this is not necessarily representative of what
Oh,
things
what
will
we're gonna
look
see
like.
in game.
So
Huh. So that seems like to be the gist of that first one. You kind of go through and train with this rival person at this dojo. Bunch of new Pokemon, big new island to go explore, free camera, lots of new clothes. I think that's about it.
And Mr.
Yeah.
Mustard.
Mr. Mustard.
I mean, and the Slowpoke is kind of.
Oh, yeah. There's a new Galarian form of Slowpoke, which just like, did that look weird to you at all?
Not really.
Like, to me, I was like, what is this? Like, what is it getting at? What is the yellow on its head supposed to even be?
You're
No,
gonna find out.
Just a big slab of mustard?
Yeah.
Well, did you keep seeing that they were like hinting at what the Slowbro and Slowking looked like? They would never show it, but it would. They showed like I think part of the Slowbro's like feet and hands, and they were like purple. They looked
And
like the
its
same
tail.
type of like the yellow does on the Slowpoke. It was purple on the Slowbro.
Yeah. And then they covered up the face of the Slow King, but it looked purpley.
Yeah. They said you could get that by giving it an item that you get in one of these expansion parts.
Yeah, you get Slowbro from something in the first expansion pack, and Slow King from something in the second.
Yep.
Okay.
Slowbro's now just a marketing tool.
Yep.
Selling himself out
That's
for
right.
DLC.
Well, can't sell Slowpoke tails anymore to
Nope.
make money, so...
Oh yeah, that was another part that was added to the DLC. At the end, it showed just other features,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them was apricots
Yeah.
from Gen 2 to
Yeah.
make balls, which is something I am all in on because that was one of my favorite parts of Gen 2.
I like apricorns too. I'm really excited.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yeah, apricorns. Apricot's a fruit.
Yeah, they are.
I think I call them apricots too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Probably because I was thinking of the real life fruit.
But now hopefully there will be a better way to get like quick balls and things like that.
Yeah.
Right. Instead, just is there any way to get them besides?
There actually is, but it sucks.
Yeah, you have to buy them with watts from someone in the wild area.
And there's some Japanese only codes that you can type in.
Huh.
I
That's odd.
was looking it up for like a while back.
Can you buy them from someone in the wild area?
I didn't know that, but I know you can get them by doing some sort of like challenge. Some like post game thing. I think like you have a chance to get like one of them at a time, and it's like
From
a
like
random
Ball Guy or something.
I can't remember, but it's like you can get them, yes, but it's like extremely difficult.
We all love a good quick ball.
So that is good. That is good that we can actually get those and do things with them.
Yeah, because I definitely never used any of them because I thought they were precious artifacts that I'd never get back.
And they pretty much were until this.
And then there was some other stuff I don't remember. I hope someone else does.
Yeah, during that same page, it was like apricorns making their return. I want to say it was like clothing or something. Customization was one of the other things, but I don't know. I don't really think it was much of an importance.
I think we got most of the good stuff. So the second expansion pack, are we good to move on to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the second expansion pack is called the Crown Tundra.
Yeah.
What a name.
And
What a name.
it's a snowy winter wonderland.
Do you guys like how they tied in like crown and armor into the theme of the expansions?
No, because it doesn't really have anything to do with what's in the expansion packs.
Well, it's sword and shield.
Armor,
Yeah.
it's just like a dojo. You learn like martial arts.
We'll see.
It doesn't really relate to what's actually there, but I like having crowns somewhere, right?
Yeah.
If they were going to make like an ultimate version, I would have hoped it was
Sword,
crowns.
shield,
So I
and
hope,
crown.
yeah.
But in this expansion pack, it looks like we get even more Pokemon. Like,
What's the theme?
it's exploration.
Oh yeah, exploration.
Yeah. So the themes, and I don't really feel like they have much to do with each other, but that's okay. We get more Pokemon like Garchomp and that rainbow dinosaur thing.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. You get it from a fossil in one of the games.
Yeah, I just know I like how it looks. But
Rainbow dinosaurs in there.
rainbow dinosaurs are in there. It's really cool. Like I said, it's wintry.
Yep. Tundra.
There's the Reggies are back. For
Yeah, that
some
seemed like a
reason.
big feature. They
I-
wanted to show that off a lot.
I don't really know why the Reggies are back because they were never really a popular.
This entire island
Legendary.
seems like you can get all the legendaries on it.
Yeah, it seems like one of the main features is you can go in the Pokemon dens
Yeah.
and search for legendary Pokemon, and they showed like a wide variety of them, like Lugia and Groudon and
In co-op mode too.
yeah,
That was cool.
yeah. They mentioned something about like a temple that had the Reggie little dots on the
dots,
outside.
yeah.
It was like half mustard, half ketchup.
Ketchup and mustard, baby.
There were 2 new Reggies.
Yeah, that was weird.
It looked like electric and dragon. To us.
The electric one had like the Reggie kind of body, little dots on the face, and it had like electricity as
like
arms.
really long arms. It was
And
like
then-
doing a T pose.
Yeah, the dragon one had like, it was like black body, I want to say, and then like red
Like
limbs.
purpley, yeah.
Then like a big like,
It almost looked like shields that looked like dragon faces.
yeah, like a big Charizard looking dragon head.
Mhm.
I must have zoned out during this part of the presentation because I don't remember at all. But
This-
what's
this
great
is all a
is 'cause
dream.
every time you say Reggie, I think you're talking about a Pokemon with the body of Reggie.
Reggie.
Who's May.
Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie is back. He's made a cameo. I think he's on Cameo.
Probably.
Because I would buy a cameo.
Buy a cameo
him.
from Reggie.
Why
Let's use
is
that as our
Smash
intro.
Bros?
The intro to the
That
podcast.
would be so funny.
Fourshade Studios, you're doing a great job. I gotta go play Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
What a legend.
I'll look for him.
Okay. But anyway, there's also they mentioned like a giant tree with big fruit on it.
Yeah, they're like, you're gonna see like a lot of unexpected things, like a big tree where you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
You're gonna be recruited by some person.
Yeah,
They
that was
said.
so weird.
Even though I'm pretty sure they showed concept art of the person who was like this ranger guy.
It was like, you'll be, like, what was the wording they said?
You'll be like
recruited by
recruited
some person to...
to explore the Pokemon dens.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
tell us.
They don't know yet.
And then
No one
everyone was
knows.
like, Professor Oak confirmed.
It's like they literally showed concept art of clearly
yeah,
someone
right.
important that looks
Yeah.
like a ranger.
He's wearing the same clothing as the character models were, so...
Maybe it's Leon's dad.
I don't know. Maybe it's your dad. The character's
Maybe
dad.
it's Reggie.
Maybe it's Reggie.
Maybe it's Reggie.
Maybe it's a big purple Pikmin.
And then they showed off the new legendary.
Yeah, each of these has like a legendary, which is
Yeah.
strange.
So why are there like 14 legendaries in this game? Is this a new thing? Have they had more than...
No, there's... I don't know. Some generations have a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Back in the day.
But that's the thing, like, it's so weird to me that there's Pokemon that are tiered, like, legendary, but then there's, like, a tier above that.
Mythic.
Mythic, or mythical, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, legendaries aren't really that cool anymore.
So it's like, part of me is like, well, are they gonna have a mythic Pokemon? What's gonna... Because I think every generation has had one.
I'm honestly suspecting that this rabbit, like Skrillex or whatever it's called, it's not Skrillex, but
Skrillex?
it looks like a
Bangarang.
rabbit. It looks like a rabbit with a big
Ball on its
green
head.
ball on its head and little Zelda Triforces.
Yes.
Yep.
I actually thought it was going to be some sort of like cross reference.
If it
I
was
would
a
be
crossover, I would be
so
like,
mad.
I'm not buying this.
I would be so mad. But it's grass and psychic, so it's like a Celebi basically. It's like the logo art for the whole expansion.
Yeah. I think the other Pokemon is in the other one too.
Really? It looked like a dog.
Well, that's what I didn't know either, because it looks like the Shield.
Yeah, but maybe it's not.
Isle of Armor expansion. It has like a yellow emblem, and it looks like the Shield dog. I can't remember its name.
Zamazenta.
But I thought, well then, like, because I saw the Tundra logo was that legendary, and I was like, well, maybe it is. We just can't tell.
I don't know. I don't really care. Um, and then like one of the last things they showed was the Kanto legendary birds, but they look different.
Yeah. What was up with that?
Weird, and they described them as new legendaries.
Well, yeah, because when they're talking about the Pokemon dens that you can explore co-op, they're like, you may see some legendaries with some new Dynamaxed forms, and then they like ended that thought. So I was like, okay, maybe those Kanto legendary birds are part of that. And then they're like, and in addition to that, you'll see some
Pokemon.
new, like never before seen Pokemon or something. And then they showed those. I was like, what? Like, what is this?
So I think it's one of three things. They can either be Gigantamax forms.
I think it's one of 4.
Oh.
I actually think it's one of a million. So.
Gigantamax form. The legendary birds get Galarian evolutions for some reason.
Okay.
Or Galarian forms of the legendary birds.
I think option number 4. They don't exist. They're of legend.
That was a great comment. Thank you for that.
I don't know
input.
what they'll be. I almost feel like they'll just be like, these are brand new Pokemon.
They're so clearly
I
based
know.
off of.
But I don't know. I just feel like they'll somehow do something stupid like that.
That would be my least favorite option.
Same, but I don't know.
I think it's revealed that Team Rocket actually captured you in the games, and everything you've been seeing ever since has been planted in your mind by Team Rocket in their basement in the lottery place.
Lottery place.
I think this is probably
This is all a
the
slot
most,
machine.
This is the most likely
Jackpot.
event that could be happening.
Bringo.
No, wait, I got it. No, they're Ditto forms of the legendary.
Yeah.
Somehow Ditto is actually
Like
cooler.
a corrupted Ditto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a corrupted Porygon, and then a Ditto transformed into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, I think it's probably Galarian forms, like you said.
I would hate that though. That sounds so stupid.
Well, literally any of those
like
options
these
would
legendary,
be
like
terrible.
one in a lifetime creatures. Oh, they just have a Galarian variant for some reason.
Honestly,
You're
the
completely-
best option out of all of these would be Brock's resolve for what this is we're just being tortured by Team Rocket and like
I don't
Well,
know.
think of Team Rocket as Game Freak, and it pretty much makes sense. And Blake, you're discounting the fact that the entire premise of this is discounting is the word of the day, is making legendaries like not special. Since when did the legendaries all decide to gather a cave and go, hey,
I don't know.
we're friends now?
That is
Oh,
weird
by the
too.
way-
I don't know. I'm curious though to see how they're gonna like pull that off. Like, oh,
They're
we
going
just have
to-
this we just have this island where all the legendaries just hang out on their off time.
What's that? Yeah, you're going to get to the island. Professor, what's his name? Because we don't know who he is going to say like 20 million years of text, all of them ending in exclamation points, about how amazing it is that the legendary is just gathered in this cave.
Probably.
And that's all they're going to need.
I don't know what it will be.
Story be danged. Okay, I'm frustrated about this. You can't tell.
but I do like how the new legendary birds kind of look though. At least
Yeah.
Zapdos. I think
They look
Zapdos
cool.
looks cool. He's like a running bird.
Yeah, he's like more orange than
Mhm.
yellow.
Articuno has like glasses on or something.
I didn't notice that.
And then Moltres is like black and
Yeah, he's like
pink.
dark themed looking.
He looks more like lava or something.
Yeah, it's like dark energy instead of fire.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's Pokemon. I don't think there was
Oh,
much
Pokemon.
else that they talked about.
I don't think so.
Oh, they talk about Pokemon Home coming out
Oh,
February 2020.
20th. Yeah.
It's pretty soon.
So,
I
you can bring, I think, Pokemon Go Pokemon into that.
Go or let's go?
Is it both? I think it might be both.
Uh,
Because in the
I
point
think
that
both, but I
can
don't.
access
I
everything.
think the thing is you can bring Pokemon into that, but the only Pokemon that you can carry from Pokemon Home into Pokemon Sword and Shield are the Pokemon that are in that game's Pokédex.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't exist if you brought them in that wasn't in the Pokédex.
Be cool if they had like a placeholder missing,
That would be
like
cool.
yeah.
I feel like every other generation has had some sort of like handling for that. I'm curious as to see what this one has.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be cool. And they also said that even if you don't get these expansion passes, the game will have updates which will allow you to trade with other people to get the Pokemon that are in those expansion passes.
That was an interesting decision that I'm glad they made because
I
it
am
would
too.
be really annoying if they fractured everyone between
Right.
people who can get these Pokemon and people that can't.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a nightmare for them to try to handle that. Because like you'd have to fracture your entire base like, oh, you can do mystery trades with these people but not these people. You can do link trades, you can do battles even or something. I don't know. But yeah, good on them. Give the Pokemon to the people. That's my slogan for 2020.
Will they offer a reward for completing the new updated decks?
I don't think so.
Not even poop.
I think
Not even a bottle of moo milk?
no, I don't think. I think how it how it was in the last gen was you got something if you caught all the new that gen's Pokemon, but maybe not for the national decks. I don't know.
Really? Because I feel like
Like, it
in
could be
past
the other way
games,
around.
if you get the national decks, then you get another starter.
Maybe. Well, that like how would you complete the national decks if you didn't have all starters?
I'm saying like a
Hacking.
starter from another generation.
Yeah, but that would be part of the national decks. Is what
Well,
I'm saying.
I don't know.
Overruled.
Overruled.
I'm just saying. I know that's something they've done in the
Maybe that's what you
past.
get for doing that gen's decks. You get, you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
But anyways, there's gonna be 200 new Pokemon added. They said. That it sounded like they were all old Pokemon too. I don't think any new
Right.
Pokemon are going to come out except for
Galarian.
Galarian forms and the legendaries.
Yep.
Possibly some mythics later on. I bet they'll do some movie tie-ins or something.
They'll add at least one more Pokemon. Yeah, you're right.
And what I also know too is that there's been some data mining for like Melmetal. That's gonna get a Gigantamax form,
I honestly don't like.
which
that
I don't think that's
Pokemon.
even part of like movies or anything. That was like released in like Pokemon Go,
Yeah.
and then like nothing really happened with it.
I don't know. That Pokemon sucks. So
You could import it into Pokemon Let's Go. I know that.
Huh. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah. So I think that's about it.
For Pokemon, in other news, we beat Untitled Goose Game. By we, I mean
Finally.
I beat Untitled Goose Game.
I watched.
It was
Ooh,
really
yeah.
good. I really liked it. I haven't done all the post game stuff, but I will. But
That's a lie.
why?
I just can't see you going
Oh
back
my
and
god,
doing that.
I like that game. I already told my friend that.
I told my friend I would do it.
Yeah, I
So I'm
told
going to.
my friend.
All right. We'll do it then.
Okay.
I'll watch.
Okay. But I really liked how they tied in the end of the game with the very beginning.
That was cool.
With the little bell pit.
Yep.
I thought it was
Yep.
pretty funny. It's just like a funny game. I don't know. Annoying people with honking and breaking things and stealing their stuff is just like really entertaining. And I like that there were multiple ways to solve puzzles too.
Yeah, that was cool.
So.
Yeah. I found the more I played it, the people just seem to do the same things, and you can tell exactly what they're gonna do. I was hoping it'd be a little bit more freeform than that.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it, like, it was still fun, but that actually wasn't the highlight of it for me. I had more fun, like, experimenting on how I could get the music to ramp up or to slow down, just what different things I could do to change the music, really.
Yeah.
I thought that was what made the game, like, over the top for me.
I feel like the only character that really did act differently was like the little boy character in the second area, because he was afraid of you.
Yeah.
You had to trap him in the telephone box.
I like the make him buy back his glasses,
Yeah,
I
that
think.
was cool.
I can't remember. I think I made him buy back his airplane.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
You had to make
That
him
was
put
probably-
on different glasses or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you could also make him rebuy his glasses
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I like how the
Which-
shopkeep was like, he was like, obviously you couldn't hear any of the dialogue, but he was like trying to explain
Arguing.
that, like, these are mine, and then she was like, no, you gotta buy them.
Yeah. Which, I guess, mission did you spend the most time on, I guess?
I had a hard time with stealing a pint glass because the waitress would always like get after me really quickly, and also trying to get it out of the whole dining area and past the guard at the front or whatever was really difficult because I kept dropping it and it kept breaking. So I probably spent the most time on that.
There's that one area with the artist also. Remember, like, you were trapped in there
yeah.
and you couldn't figure out how to get out?
Yeah.
You had to, like, break the shelving to, like, jump over the fence. It, like, created a ramp to that other guy's yard.
Yeah.
Yep. Was any of it hard?
No.
Yeah, it didn't look hard, but it was, like, a cool idea for a puzzle game, though.
I still liked it. What was the hardest thing for you? The thing you spent the most time on.
I spent an ungodly amount of time trying to get Bucket on the old man's head because in that area there's the box of tomatoes, and there's also right next to it is the platform where you make the table, I think.
Yeah.
And if you take something and put it on that table, it looks like the man's position to get the bucket on his head. So I was bound and determined to get it on his head by stealing something, putting it on that table, putting the bucket down. But the game just doesn't let that happen. And so it took me, no kidding, like 30 minutes to realize I could take the tomatoes out and he would want to put them back in which case it's super easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was too on one track mind, and that took me forever.
But anyway, just wanted to announce to everyone, oh my god,
Give me the mustard.
our son is climbing on the table. That Untitled Goose game has been beaten.
It's been beaten.
Okay, but at the end though, I was like so anxious about getting through everyone with the bell.
That was cool how you had to go through all the places you'd been previous to return the bell.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that hard.
I mean, it wasn't hard, but like
you said, like the music, like ramping up though, like that part was definitely like done well to like put you on edge.
Yeah. And like I told you guys, I thought like I realized that you were all in the same world as you were going through the different levels or areas,
Right.
but that also like showcased how big the world really is, and it's
Mhm.
pretty good sized on it.
That's
Yeah.
what I
The
thought.
game's
Like when Devin was beating the first like couple areas,
Mhm.
I was like, is this game like almost over? Like, how much bigger is the world?
Mhm.
But it kept going and going. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I'd like other modes added, like maybe everybody loves the goose in this mode. Everybody comes up to pet you.
Titled Goose game.
Maybe a co-op mode that's exactly like Pokemon co-op, where you just are
Maybe
gooses.
a hardcore mode
Ooh,
where if you
yes, where
get
they
touched by an NPC, you die.
everyone has like little knives. They try and chop your head off. Yeah,
Yeah, they're throwing stars.
Or maybe it's Super Goose mode where everyone's a goose and they're all trying to steal the
They're
items.
trying to steal from you. Super
Goose
Goose.
Royale. See, all this can be done with just a couple tweaks.
Yeah. Untitled Geese game.
Untitled Geese game. Goose Simulator.
Goose Simulator.
Would you take DLC for that game?
Depends on how cheap it is.
Yeah, I feel like it'd have to be pretty cheap.
But I don't know. I enjoyed playing it, and I'll play it more. Because I told my friend I would play it with her.
Okay.
I go back to it when I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Beat one mission.
That's true. It is like it's a good game to just like, oh, I'll just hit these missions real quick.
Hmm.
That and Baba is You have been amazing.
Yeah, that's another good game.
Half
where
a second to start it, and
Yeah.
then
just hop into it, try to figure out some puzzles,
That game
rack your brain.
We still need to finish that game.
Game's hard.
That game is hard.
That is like a game where it's like I have to take a break and like come back to it with a fresh mind after a while.
yeah, and that's what makes it so good.
Yup. All right, we gonna call it.
Everyone has
I mean-
to do a shot of mustard now.
All right, down the hatch, mustard man.
Poe wants to do a shot of mustard. He's been looking at it this whole time.
All right, that has been Fourshade Studio Podcast.
Episode 28.
28.
8.
It's 2020, boys.
New year, new us. Just kidding. We're the same.
Just kidding, we're the same.
Oh, I'm better than I was.
Yeah, we're better, boys.
We've got mustard now.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.